What is going on, everybody? It's Sean O'Connell, the managing director here at CinemaBlend and co-host of the Real Blend podcast, which you guys should definitely check out. We are binging all of the episodes of Game of Thrones, heading up into Season 8, and we've made it to Season 5, Episode 5. Same shirt, same location, but the binge requires that I keep up with my amazing editors so that we can deliver all of these episodes in time for you guys to watch them before Season 8 premieres. So we're going to dive right into Kill the Boy, which means it's time for me to remind you to go down, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, and keep up to date with all of these Game of Thrones videos as I post them directly to CinemaBlend's YouTube page. Now, who is the boy, and who is going to get killed, and how is Dany going to recover from the loss of 2 lieutenants? Ruling is hard. Wait till Jorah comes back. It's not the time.
I am so sorry, my queen.
It's not the time.
He was a good man.
Round up the leaders of each of Marine's great families and bring them to me.
I'm the leader of my family. No, you're crazy. I had nothing to do with this.
Didn't you know? That's the way to go. But now the people whose leader you just served to your dragons will hate you even more. Dany, it's a never-ending, vicious cycle of vengeance and retaliation. You can't win this game.
And though Daenerys maintains her grip on Slaver's Bay, she refuses to leave until the freedom of the former slaves is secure.
And she's alone. Her last relation, thousands of miles away. It's a terrible thing.
Sam, I'd like to speak to the Maester alone. I need your advice. There's something I want to do, something I have to do. But it'll divide the Night's Watch. Half the men will hate me the moment I give the order.
Half the men hate you already, Lord Commander. Do it.
But you don't know what it is.
That doesn't matter. You do. Kill the boy, Jon Snow. Winter is almost upon us. Kill the boy. And let the man be born.
Gotcha. Alright, commenters. I gotcha. Turning point for Jon Snow.
Your people need a leader. And they need to get south of the wall before it's too late. We don't have much time, and they have less. The walkers are coming, and they'll hit your people first. I'm not asking you to make peace to save your skin. Make peace to save your people.
All right, then. You're coming with me. They need to know the ships they are boarding won't be torched in the middle of the sea. You come with me, or I don't go.
You bring wildlings here, through our gates.
Men, women, and children will die by their thousands if we do nothing.
I will follow you anywhere. You know that. But they killed Gren.
Yes.
And they killed Pip.
If we abandon them, you know what they become. We can learn to live with the wildlings, or we can add them to the army of the dead.
I know who's inside that castle.
Everyone knows. The Boltons.
I'm not talking about the Boltons. I need to get a message to her, to Sansa Stark. I served Lady Catelyn. I serve her still. Who do you serve?
You said you'd marry me.
And I meant it. But I'm a Bolton now. What I want is no longer the primary consideration.
Do you think she's pretty?
Of course I do. I'm not blind. Jealousy bores me. You remember what happens to people who bore me.
Beg pardon, milady. I've come to refill the wash basin.
Oh, I don't.
You still have friends in the north. If you're ever in trouble, light a candle in the highest window of the broken tower.
But who?
You're not alone.
Down there, at the end. Go ahead. It's perfectly safe.
Looking good, Theon. Looking good, brother.
Theon.
You shouldn't be here.
He has been destroyed. Reek!
I heard you two had been reunited. Are you still angry with him after what he did? I punished him for it.
Why are you doing this?
Because Reek has something to say to you.
Oh.
Don't you, Reek?
This should be good.
Apologize for murdering her 2 brothers?
I'm sorry.
Sorry about what?
killing your brothers.
There! Over and done with. Doesn't everyone feel better? I do. You know what, my lady? Reek here is the nearest thing to living kin that you have left. Reek, you will give away the bride.
Ramsey.
Wonderful.
He's such a psychopath.
Waldo and I have some good news as well.
We're going to have a baby.
Ah!
Mr. Walken says it looks like a boy.
A real son. Not a bastard like you.
And if it's a boy?
You're worried about your position.
My position is quite clear. I'm your son, until a better alternative comes along.
Disgruntled Ramsey is dangerous, Ramsey.
You've never asked me about your mother. She was a peasant girl, pretty in a common sort of way. A year later, she came to my gates with a squalling baby in her arms. I nearly had her whipped, and the child thrown in the river. But then I looked at you, and I saw then what I see now. You are my son. Stannis Baratheon has an army at Castle Black. He means to take the North, but the North is ours, yours and mine. Will you help me defeat him?
Yes.
Why does the Citadel have the biggest library?
It's where they train the Maester. I wanted to be one when I was young. Instead, I became a man of the Night's Watch. Ah, Your Grace.
You don't look like a soldier. I'm told you killed a White Walker.
I did, Your Grace.
How?
With a dagger made of dragon glass.
Dragon glass?
What the Maesters call
You
obsidian.
know what it is. We have it in Dragonstone. Why would obsidian kill a walker?
I don't know. I've seen it, Your Grace.
Seen what?
The army of the dead, and when they come.
We have to know how to fight them. Keep reading. Someone will tell me. I hope you know what you're doing with these wildlings. I need those ships.
You'll get them back. Have a safe journey, Your Grace, and thank you.
Hey, Grey Wolf.
You're still too weak.
Say Barista.
You were ambushed, outnumbered. There was no way you could have known.
This is not why. I am ashamed. Because when the knife go in and I fall to the ground, I am afraid.
All men fear death.
No, not death. I fear. I never again see Miss Sunday from the island of Nath.
Sir Barristan counselled mercy when I took this city right up to the morning he died. Dario Naharis thinks I should kill the former masters and let the rest of the city fend for itself. What do you think? Your Grace, I think that I'm not fit to have an opinion on these matters.
Agreed.
You are as fit as anyone I know. You know why I'm here, and you know who will suffer the most if this all falls apart.
No one knows why
So,
you're here, Danny.
do you
Your
think-
plot stinks.
I have seen you listen to your counselors, and I have seen you ignore your counselors, because there was a better choice. One that only you could see. I was wrong, and you were right, about bringing the people of this city together. I will reopen the fighting pits. To free men only. And in order to forge a lasting bond with the Merenese people, I will marry the leader of an ancient family. Thankfully, a suitor is already on his knees.
Your subplot makes no sense. It's so dull. I want to scratch my eyes out.
You're taking us through Valyria.
I am.
How many centuries before we learn how to build cities like this again? For thousands of years, the Valyrians were the best in the world at almost everything.
And then they weren't.
They held each other close, then turned their backs upon the end. The hills that split asunder, and the black that ate the skies. The flames that shot so high and hot that even dragons burned. Would never be the final sights that fell upon their eyes. Fly upon a wall.
Wow, that is awesome.
The waves, the sea wind, whipped and churned.
A city of 1,000 years. And all that men had learned, the doom consumed it all alike. And neither of them turned.
I would clap.
Wow. Oh, wow.
What was that?
stone men. Don't let them touch you!
One more! Cut me free!
Oh no. Oh boy. Yikes. That's a good ending. Is that it? No. Here we go. Okay. Well, he let them touch him.
Tyrion, did any of them touch you?
Yes.
You?
Okay. I was warned that season 5 has some slow parts, that it might not be the best season, and I think we're suffering through the bits of 5 that just, like, not a lot happens. So this is episode 5, Kill the Boy. Kill the Boy, a reference to Jon Snow, getting rid of his innocence, finally plunging into the game, making a deal with Tormund to bring the armies of the wildlings together. The pacing in this season has been strange. Haven't seen Arya. 2 straight episodes where we didn't catch up with Arya. Spent a lot of time with the Boltons in this episode. Kill the Boy spent a lot of time with the Boltons, and there's a boy on its way. So that's significant to the title. And the boy could be a danger to Ramsay's claim to the Bolton throne because Ramsay's a bastard. And Roose could say to him now, like, you're my son. I recognize you as my son, but how long will that last? Stannis is going to march on the Boltons. He's finally begun his march. He's put together his army. We spent a lot of time with the Boltons reminded of just how cruel they are. So Jon Snow negotiates with Tormund. Dany, I'm sorry, guys. You're going to have to convince me somehow that Dany's subplot is interesting. She cannot figure out how to lead. She believes one thing in one episode, and she's swayed in another direction in another episode. She's taking counsel from anyone who she can listen to, and she's like a damn weather vane in a storm. Like she has no clear direction, no clear path, and so her storyline suffers as a result of that. Grey Wolf, that would have been a great sacrifice, but instead Grey Wolf lives, and Dany again bends and says that she's going to bring back the fighting pits, but only free men will be able to fight, not slaves. And she agrees to marry the heads of one of the families and picks that dude. Why? No idea, Dany. No idea. I bet you by next episode you will change your mind and go in a completely different direction. I'm off that bandwagon. Great, great moment when Tyrion sees a dragon for the very first time. Kind of registers on his face that, oh man, dragons exist? Everything we've been doing down in King's Landing is insignificant. We have dragons now. And then, of course, Jorah reveals that he was touched by the Stone Men and is infected with grayscale. Although I think Tyrion was touched by them also because the one guy pulled him underneath the water. So I don't really know what happened with that. But are we going to see a bit of grayscale on Tyrion and how much medical attention will he need? So Season 5, Episode 5, Kill the Boy. We're moving along at a glacial pace. I've been told Season 5 picks up eventually. I don't have any real details about how or why, but it has to at this point because, man alive, these past 2 episodes were a chore. So anyway, we'll be back shortly, so stay tuned with us. Go down, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications, and we'll see you right back here at CinemaBlend's YouTube page.